Hey guys, welcome to Whiskers and Washi. It's me. I thought I would do something a little bit different, a little bit special. December 29th is the 1 year anniversary of the very first video I ever posted, which was a planner crisis video where I was really going through it. And the interesting news is I sort of went through it again this year. But I have spent a lot of time setting things up, and I'm in a really good spot, and I'm really excited to show you what my 2026 lineup looks like. So without further ado, let's switch cameras and take a look. Okay, now for why you are all here. And I'm gonna start with laughing at myself because I'm just all over the place when it comes to planners and stuff. So if you watched my mid-year techo kaigi, you know that I felt like I had too many planners and I really needed to simplify, which was somewhat immediately followed by a follow-up that says, no, I actually need a couple more. And so this year, no exception, but the way I'm doing stuff, I really think it's going to work out this time. I have my everyday carry, which is massive and will honestly probably just sit on the desk. Then I have my work planner right here, which I'll get into what all these are in just a second, but I was kind of giving you an overview of how many there are. And then I have my, let's do this one next. Then I have my media tracker and log here. And then I have my, we'll call this my mood journal or mood tracker, emotional something. I don't know what we'll call this one yet. And then we have this guy, which is my creative journal. So trying to keep and or get back some of my creativity. When I was trying, so I don't know if you guys know this, but I think you can probably tell that none of my videos are scripted. I really went back and forth on which one I wanted to show you guys first, because I think everybody's going to be most interested in this one right here. But it's also going to be the one that takes the longest to explain. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move from shortest to explain to longest to explain, and let you know that there will be timestamps. Obviously, I do chapters for every video, and you can just jump to whichever one you are most interested in. Really quickly, I'll tell you, this one is going to be the ring binder, and it'll be last. This is a Hobonichi Weeks. This is a Take a Note A5. It's just in a Galen leather cover. This is the Hours journal, and this is the PAL planner. You can jump to whichever ones you want to look at. So when we talk about least crazy to most, I think actually this one is going to be the most simple. So let's get into this one. Something that I am trying to do this year is keep the pens that I'm using with specific ones with them. That way I'm more apt to keep up with it because I can just grab this off my desk and go versus trying to, okay, which Tombow marker was I using for this month? Which pen was I using? And so on. So there's quite a few of them that have little pen holders. A couple of them will be changing because I just recently bought a band one where you can put things in, because my Tombow, it doesn't fit in here and that kind of annoys me a little bit. So I got a band one, and maybe the band one will work. I'm a little bit worried about it hitting the tabs, but it shouldn't be too bad on this since I use the Hobonichi tabs. I was inspired by seeing the way that some people use their monthly calendar in things like the Hobonichi Cousin to do kind of a photo a day. And working from home, I don't get out much, don't see a lot of things much, and it can make every day feel a little bit like the same, sometimes like Groundhog Day. So I thought it would be really cool to try to kind of tap into that a little bit of my creative side and try to do a photo a day themed. You know what? Let's just open this up and I'll show you. So the first things first, I love this journal, but I didn't like the cover so much. So I kind of pieced this one together from different vellums. This is Dandelion Diaries vellum and a couple of different like sticker books and stuff like that. I will try to list a little bit of information about each one of these, like where I maybe got the main things from them. If you are interested, I don't have affiliate links or anything like that. It's just solely if you are interested. If I remember. If I missed something, just put a comment and I will do my best to answer you. I loved the little lucky cat that they had, because with the, I'm not going to go give you a whole in-depth on the hours journal because there's so many videos out there that do it in probably a way better way than I would. But the covers have little slices where you can put things like this in. And I just, since I redid the cover, but I really like this little card, I just put some little photo corners, which looks like that one's all messed up. Let's fix that. Okay. And kept him there. And then this is just a little bit of decoration, a little bit more. These are the strips that I had left that were sticking on the edge of my desk, and I just decided to slap them all in. So here's where the things get really interesting. So every month has some kind of color, right? So January has this ruby. This probably is an amethyst, so it's purple. They're all gemstones this year. And so what I'll do is I'll pick a color that kind of tries to go with this as much as possible. And I actually used ChatGPT. And I told ChatGPT that I was doing a photo a day challenge with myself and that I would like to theme each month around something. ChatGPT gave me such a cool list of different things. I don't have the full thing with me right now, but you know what? Maybe I'll do a Google document or something, and if you guys are interested in the same thing, you can use that one, or you know, maybe make a prompt yourself. So anyway, I have this little circle stamp that I absolutely love, but can never quite figure out how to use it and where to use it. And I thought it'd be really good for checkboxes. The theme for January is new beginnings. Kind of funny, the first word is beginning. And so I put the words that were going to be for every single day here, and I use this stamp, and then I'm keeping my Tombow with it so that when I take the photo, I can checkbox it off. I guess circle it off. And I will set this up every month as I go. So that's why all the rest of the months are blank. And then to help me out, I made the same list here for January, but in a way that I could just take it with me so that I can be thinking about it and not have to come pick up my journal and go, oh man, what was today's? Oh, it was coffee. Okay, let me do this. So I have this little guy that I can take with me, and I'll do this for every month. Okay, so how am I going to put the stickers on here? I do not have a really nice photo printer or anything like that. And I didn't want the book to bulk up super bad. So I tried a couple different things. And right here, once I put the photo in, I'll write what it is and why I took that photo, or maybe just a little bit about what was going on when I took the photo. So I tried a couple things. Let me try to get these out of here. I kept these for so long so that I could share it with you guys. The first thing I tried was label paper, like Avery label paper. These are just random photos I was doing. And I had been looking for a stamp punch, and the closest I could find was this guy, which is actually really good. But it is kind of scalloped edges, and it's quite large. You can see how big that is. And I don't like the way it prints because I just have a little inkjet printer. So, that one wasn't that great. But then I printed it on vellum, and I did the same thing. And the vellum, it looks so good on the paper because once you hit the white, it kind of really shows through. But this is too big. It's just going to cover the lines or stuff like that. Then I actually found the stamp punch. This was such a, let me give you the Scrambled Art Co. is where I got it. It's not super strong, but it'll do vellum. And I'm so excited about this because I've been stamping so much stuff. I stamped and the label paper, but I still didn't like the label paper too much. So then I stamped the vellum, and look how good this looks. So it doesn't look like much now, but when you put it down and the white comes through it, it looks so good, right? Oh man, I'm so excited about this. So that's what I'm gonna do for every day. I mean, I know me, I'll have to do some catch up, but I will be taking photos and writing a little bit, and then hopefully I can share this back with you at the end of January. So that is book one. I think the next least complicated setup one is my work journal. This is a take a note planner and an A5, and I am so excited to be back in this because I tried Hobonichi Weeks this year and it was fine, but I really wanted to go back to the A5 that I had previously because it just works so good for how I use it for work. My dots are going to be blue is birthdays, yellow is holidays, green's PTO, and red is code releases. I work in technology. You can see here is January. Let's zoom you in just a little bit here. Most of the stuff that you see here is from the Coffee Monster Co. This is her yearly kits. And these are leftovers from my main journal. And I just kind of pieced it together. And what I'm going to do is I plan on using these little guys right here for, you know, something that happened at work that I loved. Something that happened at work that shocked me. Maybe this is hot gossip or a thing that was like a topic that was circling around a lot that month. And this is just kind of one of those, what was my biggest question or biggest thing I had to research? Or it could be the most WTF moment. You know, you never know. We'll see. And then I planned on putting this here as the projects or priorities for the month. Most likely it's probably going to be the features that are getting released and their dates and information about them. You can see we're in a code freeze. There's holidays. There's a day off, paydays, birthdays, and I just love it. Oh, also, might be a little bit hard to see, but here in these little tan guys right there, that's our sprint number so that I know when the new sprint starts and the number of the sprint. Just like in my everyday journal, I only did the first quarter. So one of the things that I have found is that part of my love of journaling just in general is the setup. And I just get so into the zone and I'll spend like 8-10 hours doing a setup and just am so excited and happy and forget to eat, all of that stuff. And then I'm done. And then then I'm just using it, right? And then also I have found, historically in the past, sometimes when I do a whole bunch of setups, something doesn't work for me. So I'm using each quarter as a check-in to say, is this layout still working for me, basically? Am I doing these things? Am I filling out these? Stuff like that. I will probably also put a video out each quarter for the next round of setups, or maybe I'll just go month to month. We'll see. It definitely has to be in advance though, because I can't share any of my work stuff. Then the weeks themselves are very simple. I am keeping all the dots here. I had contemplated letting them fall off. Like I'm in the week 1, so January 1st is New Year's Day. But when I'm in week 2, that's past. I contemplated not dotting it, but I thought I'd want a record of everything throughout the month at a quick glance. And the way that I use these is I use the week overview section right here just as a to-do list. This is a stamp from the Everyday Explorers. Lists of lists, lots of lists, something to do with lists. That's the stamp set. And then I absolutely love the fact that they got rid of the noontime gray bar. That's awesome. And what I do is as my day starts, I just start journaling throughout the day. This happened, this meeting, this is discussed, and so on, all the way down. And that's why this worked so well for me. In the Avec, what happened is I had the weekly overview, and I would put my meetings in it, which I don't need to do because I'm a slave to Outlook, and I already know what I'm doing. And then I would try to write little blurbs after 4 o'clock because I work 7 to 4, and that wasn't there. And then I didn't like having to flip to the back to write it. And so anyway, I'm just really excited to have this. And then these generally don't get used unless it's a code release and then stuff goes here on Saturday. I can see myself using this as overflow for when a lot of stuff happens during the day. I have done that before where I've kind of, did the December 29th continued and kind of filled it out here. And that's basically it. That is how I use this one. The only other thing I think I might do is I want to say there's exactly 4 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's exactly 4 pages in the back, which coincide with quarters. So I think I might do a quarterly overview here because that will really help me at the end of the year do my year-end reviews. and also for my team, because I try to make a list of the different things that we worked on the year. And so that'll help. That'll help me, and that'll make that easier. So, all right, that is the work planner. And I think I said it already, but this is a Galen leather cover. This is really, really amazing. I love this thing. It's so sturdy, so good. Okay, let's do the next one. All right, my Hobonichi Weeks, which is my media journal, and you can tell, by and large, I mostly watch K-dramas. This is an interesting cover. I got this because everybody said that the particular Hobonichi Weeks I purchased this year, the clear cover could stick to it and ruin the design. I mean, I'm not going to be taking the cover off, so I don't, but just in case I got this. And it kind of works out so that way I can keep a ruler with it, and I can keep my little film and TV guys with it. I don't know if I'm going to leave this on the back or not, because the Weeks tends to sit on my coffee table while I watch things. All right, let's open this one up, and you can see I got the Tommy one. Yay! All right, this is the start of me keeping how I figured out the layouts. I thought you guys might be interested in that. I do realize that I am so late to the game on doing setup kind of videos, much the way I was super late to the Inkvent game. So you guys probably already have your stuff set up, but maybe this can be some inspiration or ideas for your next month or what have you. So, K-drama and chill, got that, 2026. Okay, let's see. I will be honest, the front part of this is not really complex at all, but I wanted to show you this year. Let me take this off. This is driving me nuts. Oh my goodness. My months in here. Also, I like the fact that I put the month tab down at the bottom, because when I'm looking at this, I don't look like this. I see what's at the bottom. So I'm kind of proud of that one. I don't know if I've seen anybody else do that or not yet. For each month, I decorated just a little bit with the Coffee Monster Co. Her sketches, or sorry, her design this year, she sketched and then watercolored them. And I had asked on Instagram if she could maybe make some just black and white ones. And she did, of her main ones. So that's awesome. I'm really excited. It looks so good. So just like my other journal, I only did the first 3 months. If we get to the first week, you can see I don't really have a lot going on here. I did go through the entire book and line out where the months change, because sometimes I don't see that very well. And I put a line here. So I think it's good to go through what I did this year and kind of tell you how that informed what I'm going to do here. This is my current media log or journal. I got in here, first off, I bought it because the artwork, it was super darn cute. And then I was like, what am I going to use this for? Oh, I watch so many things. Let me make it a media log. And then I had these like really grand plans for it. This is again my 2025 one. And you can see I didn't fill out anything here. And then what I did was, as I finished something, I would put the name and the star rating and the year. Like this was a carryover from 2024. I started it in 2024. And that's all I was using for this right here. I was going to do sticker printouts, but it just didn't work out very well. And then in the back, there's nothing except for me trying to get my, you'll see, this is all me planning for 2026. I just use these pages willy-nilly. In the back of the 2025, I did have a to be watched list, but it was just way too crazy. And yeah, that's too excessive. So here's an example of what it kind of looks like when I use it. And this is what I want to change. Right now I use this pen, and I think I ripped off the key. Yeah, I did. The purple was K-dramas, blues was movies, and then the other colors were things like books. How I've used this in the past or currently is I would write what I'm watching. I would write the episodes, and then I would write the service provider that was on, and then any little one-liner, two-liner, whatever. For this particular one, I learned about the song How Long Will I Love You, and that was just absolutely beautiful, which is interesting because it was beautiful in the scene, and then I listened to it afterwards, and I kind of didn't have the same feeling, so that was kind of interesting. And then I started playing around here on what I'm going to try to do in 2026, and put things like quotes that I really liked from it. And that's kind of the how I was using it, which is just really sloppy, crummy, doesn't look great, but it did its job, right? So now I didn't put much on here because I'm not going to color code with the pen anymore. I have the highlighters, which are in here. How I'm going to use this is I'm going to put whatever I watched here. I'm going to put the number of episodes and the source, so Netflix, Viki, Hulu, whatever it is. And then I'll use the space over here for things like quotes or songs that came from it or anything that's notable. And then I'm not going to fill this out in advance because sometimes I end up watching like one or two episodes, like 4 episodes, and then I can use the whole page up to here to fill things out. So it's kind of bland to look at now, but that is how I plan to use it. And then we get into the back, which is where the really cool stuff happens, which is where I totally destroyed this guy trying to figure out what I was going to do. So one thing that I want to try to do this year is actual reviews instead of just the star ratings, because I have found that sometimes after I finish watch something, I forget what happened in it. And so I want to be better about writing reviews. So I actually started out trying to figure out the back by doing photocopies, which is something I do a lot. So this is an example of the photocopy. And then you can see I started trying to stamp layouts for reading, which I barely touched a book at all this year. I don't think I finished a single one, but I need to be better at that because I actually do miss it. And so here's where I was trying to mess around, see which colors I wanted, stuff like that. And then I switched over to my current weeks and just went ham. All right, I am so rambly. This is my watch list. This isn't that same list of lists, Everyday Explorers thing. This isn't filled out yet because I need another highlighter. Actually, I lied. I found another highlighter, so I will fill this out. What this is going to be is the key. So this will be domestic. This will be foreign. This will be domestic. And this will indicate a rewatch. So probably like a dot or something like that there. And I plan on coloring here to indicate that, and then just check boxing if I end up watching it. The title, the genre, the source, and any notes about it. And you can see I check boxed the TV. And I did several of these because I tend to watch more TV than movies. I think I could probably count on 2 hands the amount of movies I watched this year. And so I did, goodness, what's happening here? All right, so how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 pages for TV. And then I didn't want to mess up and start putting movie ones on the TV ones. So it's I flipped the orientation. So now it's like this, and the movie one's over here. Oh, see, I did it here. I just didn't do it on the other ones. That's fine. All right. And then next, I am definitely not going to make this. I started, but it didn't happen. So the Dresden Files, the new book comes out on January 20th, and I intended to start my reread or re-listen much earlier. And I actually started it yesterday, which was December 26th. So I'm not going to make it. But the plan is, so this is the new book right here, the 18th book in the series. Here is if I listened on audio. Here is if I read it on paper. And then I was going to put the start date and the date that I finished. So I guess I need to fill that in with yesterday's date. And then this one is just a general reading list. You can see I only did 1 page because, like I said, I don't really read as much as I used to. And that is it. That was super long-winded, so I hope that I was able to cut that down a little bit in editing. Fingers crossed. Also, anytime there's threads now, like ribbon bookmarks, I make charms for them. And really loving it. I'm actually thinking about potentially making a little Etsy shop and selling journal charms and K-pop charms, like phone charms and bag charms, stuff like that. So let me know in the comments if that's something you might be interested in. Okay, let me clear up this mess that I have going on, and we will get into, let's go into the mood book. Okay, this is the PAL Planner. It's P-A-L. This is a Coffee Monster Co. vellum that I cut down and put over. When you get these PAL planners, PAL planners, they come with different color covers and you can swap them in and out. And so I just put the vellum over it, and then I put the 2026 guy on there. This is such a cool pen case. This is like the best one yet. It actually has to have a lot in it. So I'm going to take this off for just a moment. I also love the fact that I use the super bright tabs on here. And then since I just talked about phone charms and journal charms and stuff, check out these cute old guys I made. So yeah, exciting. Okay, why am I doing this journal? I often find myself lost in my feels, and I sometimes have to ask myself, did I have a bad day, or did I have a couple of bad hours that I just kind of milked for the whole day, or was there something else going on that I could have done differently that ended up impacting my entire day? And I thought it'd be really helpful if I tried to make things data-driven, which, I'm going to be honest, I'm not that great with numbers, but through the power of talking to my niece and then my buddy ChatGPT, I figured out how to score things. So let's just open this guy up. This, I believe I showed on Instagram. I was so excited to do this inside thing with this PET tape, and I ran out. So I had to hit it with some other PET tape on the end, and I thought it was perfect. It was just, what a shit show. And especially since it's about emotions. For 2026, I am going to go into a low buy, except for things that are kind of a limited edition or my usuals, like if Little Lou comes out with new stamps, things like that. And I also want to use what I have. So in here, I'm going to be using my stencils, which usually just hang out in a drawer and never get any use. So I'm kind of excited about that. All right. So for some of these, I don't have a sample, and it's just a little Post-it. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to track my headaches, because I get migraines and sometimes just sinus headaches or just a regular headache. And so what I want to do is I want to indicate the day that I had the headache, and then also, you'll see this in a minute, what kind of day, the color coding of the day. All right, here is just going to be a list of the color codings of the day, which again, you'll see what that is in just a minute. They're just going to be color dots. Okay, let me cover this for a second. So if you haven't seen the PAL Planner before, you have this kind of month here. You know what? Let's skip over. Let's go to look at a brand new month. Okay. You have the month here. You have a little bit of writing section. You kind of have this Jibun Techo sort of vibe right here, where the person who created the PAL Planner uses this for a lot of tracking. Really great videos on that stuff too. Yoseka also put a video out about it when they did their planner march not too long ago. And then each day looks like this. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to track my moods and the goods and bad things that happened throughout a day. And then I wanted to look at the numbers. This is where I started, and I already messed it up. So this is like, don't do this. And then this is where I figured it out. So green check mark. This book starts in December. I am not going to be starting it until the first week of January, which happens to be December 29th. So I set up a little sample page here of how I'm going to do it so that I could show you guys and so I could remember, because this is new for me. Here, I will color dot the days with their ranking, which we'll get to in a minute. And then here I will put again, ignore this because this didn't work out at all as planned. I will be putting the day ranking here and be able to track how I was doing throughout the year and throughout the month. And for when I had really good days or really bad days, I will use this side. actually flip it. The graph's going to be here. The words are going to be here. I will use one side to write what happened on that particular day that probably, you know, made me feel why it was a good day or why it was a bad day. And I can kind of track it that way. And then for a sample of how I'm going to do the days, it'll be like this. This is a small book. It's a B6 like my Take a Note Weekly was. And I have a hard time writing in that. And so I tried to write this way and it just wasn't working. So I decided to orient the entire book this way. Every week is going to be oriented vertically like this. And what I'll do is on this side, it will be a good thing that happened, a memorable good thing. And then this side will be the bad thing that happened. And then I'll rank them 0 to 5. 0 being the least best good thing, 5 being the best thing. And 0 to 5 for the bad stuff too, where 0 is the least worst thing and 5 is the worst thing. It's hard to, okay. And then I wanted to see how my moods went throughout the day. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with this or not. But again, that's why I'm keeping the markers strapped to the cover of this so that I have it with me. So I can keep it. I can take it to my work desk. I can take it to the living room where I watch TV. In the morning when I wake up, I can just, this will be like a little travel guide. Plus it's nice and small and compact. So you can see I have these colors. So this will be when I wake up. And this will be as the day goes along. Here like this. And then the overall rating, the color rating of the day will go here. So there's definitely more yellow than any other color. So this day gets a yellow, which is why this back here had a yellow +3. The +3, I'll get to the math in a minute. No, you know what? Math is so hard for me, guys. But let me try to explain this. So there will be positive numbers and negative numbers. How I'm going to rank each day is I take the good day number and I subtract the bad day number. And since it worked out, then this ends up being a +3 because 4 minus 1 equals 3 and you're still good. You're net positive. So it's +3. It confused me really bad. So hopefully when I have a whole month done, I will come back and I will show you guys what I'm talking about if this is confusing at all. Because I do realize it's a little bit confusing when it's not filled out that much. Okay, and then so I've set up January where you can see I have my scale here with my yays and my ughs right here. And then on this side, I'll write anything that passes this line. Or sorry, anything that comes up here or goes down here, I will write what happened. And then I have highlights and lowlights on here. And then the key. So this is why I have so many markers in here. I really feel like I'm going to end up paring this down as the year goes on. But for right now, the things that I am wanting to track is when I feel fine or okay. When I feel really upbeat, that can also be kind of like, sometimes I get that manic energy and I'm just like, whoa. So I want to track that. When I'm stressed, when I'm down or depressed, when I'm exhausted, because I would love to figure out what's triggering that so bad. Executive dysfunction days, these two kind of go together. So I might end up combining them, and then headaches. And then you can see really tiny right here. It almost looks like times, right? So I tend to wake up around 5:30 or 6 in the morning, and I tend to go to bed around 9:30 or 10. So if you come around the clock the wrong way, this will be 6 o'clock. The midway is 11. Down here is 4. Over here is 7, and this will be 10. And so when we come back to here, you can see I woke up. I don't know why I was stressed when I woke. Oh, I remember, because I woke up late and I was really stressed out about feeding the cats because I woke up like an hour late. And then I was fine. And then I spent the whole day journaling and I was just like in such a good mood. And then when I was ready for bed, I was, back to fine. Okay, that is that one. I haven't really thought too much about the end pages, but is kind of noodling. This is what they look like. So some of them look like checkbox pages, and some are just blank. And I was thinking about, oh yeah, and there's this one too where there's like a red header, and then so you can kind of group the lines together. I was thinking about maybe making lists of things that, like, researching different things you can do to change your mood. And then checkboxing if it worked and I tried it. Or maybe checkbox means I tried it and then I can do a little Y or in on if it actually worked or not. But yeah, so this is, I hope I keep up with this. I think it will help if I do. I feel like I'm already laughing at myself a little bit because this feels like such a Heather reaction to something where it's like, okay, you got to get a handle on it now. You got to get super organized. You got to get type A. You got to do this. And then I'm just going to fall off. But we'll see. I hope I stick with it because I'm really interested and want to know this. So I'm trying to prepare myself for success. I have my key. I have everything I need with me so I can just drag this thing around. I made it super colorful so that I want to look at it and be in it. So fingers crossed that this one works out the way I want it to. And I will share this with you guys, but I might have to blur things out. I want to share at least 1 month worth, and then I might not do the rest because that could be too crazy as far as blurring and editing and all that other stuff. But I want to share at least 1 month so that you guys can actually see it in use, and I can tell you if it worked for me or not. Also, this book, my God, the paper's so nice. I was like, why is this paper so nice? The hours journal is super rough, and I'm going to have to just use a regular gel pen or ballpoint pen in there. It's definitely 1000% not fountain pen friendly. This one, though, I was like, this paper is so nice and smooth. What is this? It almost feels like take-a-note paper. And I found out it's Moterm, which is one of my favorite papers. So that's so exciting. Look how nice the paper performs too. You see that? That's not too bad. And then if you flip, you see that was a Bach medium that just bleeds through everything. But none of all the dot guys, the dot pens, and the little square ones that I have, they didn't bleed through hardly at all. So that's really exciting. Okay. Yeah, that's that. Hopefully I explained that somewhat decently. I don't know. You might have to wait until the end of January where we can see it all together. I don't know. Okay, let's get the next and last journal, which is the big one. If you follow me on Instagram, this should not be too big of a shock what you're going to see in here. If you don't, it might be a little bit of a shock. We'll see. So this is one of the Coffee Monster Co. journal bags, which I impulse bought a while ago, and then, man, has it really come in handy. This is fantastic. All right, so let's take a look. What do I got? It's a ring binder. That's the big shock. That's the big surprise, the big whatever. I have never used a ring binder for planning. I am super excited to use one because, oh man, if you go back through the Techo Kaigi video, which I guess I'll try to link somewhere here so that you guys can see it, if you haven't watched it before. I mean, by that I mean like up here. Here's the thing. I am one of those people who have a really hard time when I mess up a page or leave a page blank in my journal. And I know it's not a big deal, but I can't stop myself from feeling the way I feel about it. So I've tried all kinds of journals, and I decided maybe rings, maybe a ring planner is where I need to be. And boy, did I go down a rabbit hole. I watched so many videos. The more I watched, the more I became convinced that this is exactly what I needed for my everyday journaling. I am more of a journaler than a planner, but I still do some planning. And the biggest problem I had this year was the fact that my stuff got split into two. My weekly views were in here, which this is the massacre that happened. My weekly views were here, and I would keep my appointments, YouTube things, and stuff about the day. And then my actual journaling and everything took place in my paper test designs. But the problem, quote unquote, with this for me has always been the horizontal weekly. I'm trying to get to the next page without revealing stuff. Okay, the horizontal weekly has always messed me up. And if Paper Test Designs had done a vertical weekly, I probably would still be in Paper Test Designs because it is a fantastic book. I've really enjoyed it. But I struggled all year with this. I do like the blank 7 pages. It was great. I do like that. That's how I used them. But because I didn't have a vertical weekly, and I had gotten used to a vertical weekly, I had 2 books. Oh, that drove me nuts. So I am super excited to be back in 1 book this year. Also, this was originally going to be one of the new Sterling Ink complete planners, the really big, thick guys in the hardbound book. And I bought it, and I was so excited, and I got it, and I immediately became stressed out. Because I'll insert a picture of the spreadsheet that I made, but the duplication of days and weeks, because of the way weeks fell, was so triggering to me. I couldn't get into it. I made a grid to try to figure out what I was going to do with these extra duplicate week situations and pages, and I couldn't deal with it. I understand that sounds neurotic, but I'm just telling you how it is. So anyway, that has now been gifted to a new home. I'm very excited, and she absolutely loves it. The other thing is I'm a really big fountain pen user, and that paper had the rough feeling of the kind of paper that feathers really badly. Like, it felt like it might have been one of the not so great batches of the Tomoe River paper. And I just, without writing in it, I could just tell the coating seemed a little bit off. Whereas the person I gifted it to is not really a huge fountain pen user. So, perfect scenario. Anyway, back to this. I watched so many videos and got so much inspiration from them, and then kind of took things in my own little way. I made so many lists and notes about different things, and then sort of ended up doing my own thing. And I'm really excited to show you how crazy I got with the decoration. I'm just going to open it up. For starters, this is Moterm Deluxe, I think. These are insanely expensive. And I really hesitated to buy this because I didn't know if I was going to love the ring binder stuff. But I hit the 10-year mark at my company this year. And so they gave us a whole bunch of gift card stuff. And so it was free on Amazon for me. So, oh my gosh, I love it. I love it so much. Every time I have opened this while I was setting this up, I was just convinced again and again and again that I made the right decision. I am so excited to get started in this. I cannot convey how excited I am. Let's just take a look at all this craziness that I have going on here. This is a journal charm from Lizzie's Letters store, I think. She has a YouTube video. I saw her making these, and I went and looked for the charm on her website or on her Etsy shop. I absolutely loved it because fall is my favorite season, and coffee, just love it. And then also 2026 is the year of the horse, and that is my year, so that's cool. And then here is a little jade horse. Again, year of the horse. I don't know if this is real jade or not, but I can pretend that it is. It's always nice and cool. I like it. This is a calendar from the Paper Mouse. I like this side better than this side, so I just keep it here. I don't know if it'll stay there for forever. And then I saw people decorate these things so creatively, and it made me so inspired. One of the best things about this, honestly, is that I'm going to be able to switch it out. I can just switch it out, and it's so easy, right? Like, these are just patches that I got from an Etsy store. And so I can change them out with new patches, or I can put different things in there, and then it feels like I have a whole new journal. And these are magnets. This one I've always had. And then this one says salty. And then this little guy right over here, it says, "You are stronger than you think." It's one of the little soot sprite guys. These Moterms are really cool because they have like so much room and stuff, but I need to train it a little bit to lay more flat, I think. But it's getting there. Okay. I'm so excited. So there are journal cards. Oh man, if you're into the ring binders, a lot of stuff I'm gonna say you're gonna be like, yeah, I know. But if you're not, you can learn just like I learned about all these cool things. So they are journal cards. This one is from May Paper Co. They're based in Australia, and I got a lot of stuff from them, and fantastic place. Loved it a lot. This says Control, Alt, Delete. Control yourself, alter your mindset, delete negativity. I liked it so much, but these are too deep, and it wouldn't show, so I just hole punched it. Boom, done. Always have it with me. This fluted dashboard thing, I loved it so much. I saw it on so many other people's stuff, so I was just like, I have to have it. This is an art print that I got when I was in Texas for the P1 Harmony concert. This isn't P1 Harmony related. I just happened to be in Texas for that. And I wasn't going to frame it, and I thought, how cool. I'll just make it a dashboard. And the colors match and everything. It looks so cool. And I can change it seasonally. So for instance, there was a girl I was speaking to on Threads who makes Stray Kids artwork and postcards. And she has one that I'm going to get in an A5, and I'll switch it out when I'm tired of this one. I'll switch it out for that one. It'll be really cool. And then, I don't know why I put my name like this. It looks like a ransom note, but whatever. These are little cards that I can see at a quick glance, birthdays and holidays. And this is, you'll see the patches. I went nuts on this Etsy store, which I'll link below where I got all the patches. And I like this because also I can give my journal like a makeover every month or every quarter. I can just switch things out, and it's like having a whole new thing. Can you tell I'm excited? I'm so excited. You guys, I better not come back at the end of the quarter and be like, this is the worst decision ever, because I feel so happy right now. It's gonna work. This is J-Hope, and that's Bang Chan from Stray Kids, so BTS, but also solo. And then more, and this is this right here, the Be Afraid and Do It Anyway. That's what inspired me to film the intro of this video the way that I did. So look at that. Also, this one cracks me up. This nailed it. All right, this is a thing called an inbox. Which again, if you're into ring binders, you know what this is. But it is a place for you to have. There are some that are really complex where they say, "Do it now, keep it for later," all this other stuff. I'm using it to hold Post-its, that to scribble things that I need to remember. Maybe it's an idea for a new page in the back. Maybe it is an upcoming concert. I just want to scribble the name really quick, something like that. That's how I'm using it. And then also to keep this paper clip in case I need it. And then this was also from the May Paper Co. And I love this thing so much. And this little velvet guy, oh my God, I love it. So I hole punched it. I keep it. Love it. All right, this one right here, May Paper Co. This little sticker I really like. I feel like it kind of looks like me before I cut all my hair. And then here is my yearly overview. Holidays, birthdays, PTO. I only have 2 PTO days set up, and I actually removed this one, so that's already outdated. Yeah, and then here's the future. And then I did plastic binders vertically. And then I did Copy Monster Co. tabs horizontally. Oh, and the other cool thing about this inbox from them is that it hangs low. So you can see it, like for instance, if I'm over here, it hangs down at the bottom. All right, so anywho, let's get into this. So here's the monthly. I didn't have good tabs, so I just used the one from the Copy Monster Co. and just put them on the top for this. It works, it's fine. I was sad about not having a place to put stickers though, because when you get your journals, you sticker them up and it's all good. Here, I don't really have that, so I thought, what better place than these plastic dividers? I can put all kinds of stickers on them. It'd be perfect. Okay, now here's where the real fun begins. Let me show you this also. some of these pages that'll be flipping a lot, I put a hole protector on, and this is so cool because you just line it up like this where the hole is, you know, right through here, and then you just you stamp it. It's so cool. I got it off jet pens. All right, are you ready? This is okay. So let me back up a little bit. In my techo kaigi, I talked about how, and even in the first video I ever put out, I started talking about bullet journaling and how I kind of wanted to do some of that because you can make exactly what you want. But typically bullet journaling is in a bound book and whatever. And with this, I can do what I want. So this is Moterm paper. It happened to have something that was A5 from them, and it had like a little gutter like this perfectly. So I just hole punched it and it works amazing. So this will be able to handle my fountain pens just lovely. And bam, that's how my months look. I'm so excited. So this is the Coffee Monster Co. kit stickers. Again, you see I took the day off, or I took off the day off, whatever. And this is what I'll keep in the month here. But I basically felt bullet journaling. I drew out my calendar and I used all the kid stickers for it. And this was so much fun. And just like the other ones, I'm only doing a quarter at a time. So if I find something here that just doesn't work for me very well, I can change it up in next quarter. But it's just, so my birthdays, my days off, and I'm going to record whenever I hang out with people, any media that I finished, and my purchases. Again, I'm doing a low buy 2026. So I kind of wanted to record maybe just, I'm hoping this is all the room I'll need, but we'll see. And you know, paydays and things like that. Since I did this manually, drew it on there and everything, these don't have backs. So to make my life easier, I plan on paper clipping it together so that I can easily switch to the next page. So, boom. You know how in the, let's see. All right, in most planners, you have this kind of perpetual calendar, whatever they call it, and you can use it for tracking, logging, different things like that. I use mine for weather keeping. And one thing that I wanted to start doing was capturing the sunrise and sunset times. And so the color coding is here. The color coding will go in this last little strip right here. The highs and lows, the icon for what it was, the high and low here, and then the sunrise and sunset will go here. And then I also had this year in here, right, I also had this page this year where I tried to like, when did I last kind of thing. And so what I did is I found I wasn't coming, I don't flip to this page to see those things. So I thought it'd be good to have them as a checkbox on the actual month that I'm, you know, entering in all of my different things. Super excited about this one. All right. And then this right here is from Stylish Minimal Co. I ordered the monthly inserts from her. I think they used to be called Sticky Monster Co. maybe. And I didn't realize, I don't know what I was thinking, guys, but this is too tiny for a monthly. So what happened is that I got this and I was like, oh my God, I can't work with that. And then I got inspired and I'm like, I'm going to draw it. I'm going to do it. It's going to be great. And I love it. So what in the world was I going to do to this? Make sure I didn't, you know, waste money on it. I'm going to use this for my YouTube stuff. So in my current journal, I track things like this, the subscriber counts. And so what I'll do is, and I also track the videos that I put out. And then this was also my TV show. So I was including my movies or my media in here, but videos and shorts. So what I'll do is I'll record my subscriber counts. Maybe I can take them here and then I can put which days I put in different videos and any notes about what was going on. So now I have a YouTube thing. So now I have my monthly like appointments, my weather and sunrise sunset, and my YouTube all together, and then it just flows into the next month. Boom. February. Love it. And then same thing for February. And then March. March is so colorful. And I don't have anything. I'm trying to keep it to 1/4 because I want to keep it thin. I hate writing on a... That was another thing. One of the reasons I hate bound, but I love how fluffy these things get because it's like you can see at a glance all the love and stuff you poured into it and all the memories that you kept. I cannot stand writing in it. It drives me insane. So I'm only keeping 1/4 at a time here. And then if I need to plan stuff for, say I'm in February and I need to remember something for June, that's where my inbox will come in and I'll put it on the inbox. And then when I pull June in, I have it. Okay. Yeah, that's it. That is my monthly. And then let's get into the weeklies. Here's the weeklies that I have in there for the first quarter. There's a little bit overlap with April because of the way the weeks land. Again, these are stylish minimal inserts, and I'll tell you this, for my dailies, I purchased from them these Tomoe River paper gridded blank pages. And for some reason, because I bought these as Tomoe River paper, I honestly thought that the monthlies and the weeklies would be Tomoe River paper, and they are not. And I don't know why I thought that. In every single, ring binder video I watch, they're all this thick, heavy paper. And so I was kind of bummed out in the beginning about it because, again, I'm a heavy fountain pen user. But I think I'm going to be fine using a regular pen for my weekly. And then, because my fountain pens will be back here. Now, nothing says I can't use fountain pens on here. It's just they behave weird, typically, on this kind of uncoated paper. So anyway, here's the first week. So the first thing I did is, this is from the Coffee Monster Co. because these don't have week numbers on them. So the little weeks go there. Here's my normal, the trash is on the day thing. I bought the little chapter stickers so that I could see when a month changes in the middle of a week. And I have been playing around with washi tape and printing out different things. So for these, since I'm into charms and stuff like that, I bought a digital file off of Etsy of those little letter charms or letter beads and made these guys right here. So I haven't set this week up just yet, but I can show you what it's going to look like. Ta-da! This is how OCD I am. I forgot to show you all the pages I went through with the Powell Planner, but I also went through many pages here of copying them and trying to figure it out before I filled them out. Oh my goodness, everything's going to fall. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? Beforehand, this right here, I love. I have these little plastic circles. What do you call these? Tabs with hole punches in them. So I can put postcards and stuff in. Guys, I am so excited about being able to insert little, like here's another one. I'm so excited about being able to do this stuff. And it's just, the level of make me happy when I see this is just, I can't describe it, but ooh, I'm so excited. All right. Focus. We need to do this. Heather needs to wrap this video up so that she can go feed her pets. All right. Here is what it's going to look like when I get done. So today's agenda, that is going to be all of my appointments and everything up here. Anything that's timed related, I'll put them up here. This is one of those. This is another from that Everyday Explorers list of lists. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'll just show you. It has all these guys in there. So it's pretty cool. I picked that up a couple weekends ago. All right. And then this section, I'll put my to-dos for every day. This is a stamp march. I just got these from Atlas Stationers. And so I'll put the to-dos at the top of every day. Some days I don't have to-dos, like chores, but some days I have a lot. So I just kind of mocked all this up. And I thought I would color code my personal chores with my to-dos for like YouTube. So I made the YouTubes red here. I don't know if I'm married to that yet or not, but we'll figure it out. And then habits. This is a Coffee Monster Co. stamp that I put in there. And I face washing morning and the afternoon. And I want to get better at like a skincare routine with like the retinol exfoliating. the scrub and using a mask. And so I kind of want to track these guys right here. And the little credit card is, I don't know how I'm going to track it yet, but it's for my good job you didn't spend monies. I don't know if I'm going to do a check that good job you didn't spend money, or when it's blank, it means good job you didn't spend money. So I'll figure that out. And then one thing I really liked about what I started doing in my little take a note over here. Oh, no, I didn't. I put it in this. This was one of my attempts to figure out how to use these. Yeah, there you go. So one of the things that I started doing was next week's. So I knew what was coming up next week. Whew. Let's see how much of that I have to blur out. Anyway, so I have a little next week guy right here. This is Yamadoro stamp. I love him. And then I wanted to get back to rating my weeks. Again, I don't know what is with me, but I feel like I'm entering the era of data-driven decisions or something. I don't know. Anyway, so this is a little stamp I had. The little cats are these stamps, which I've had for a long time, but they bled through Tomoe River paper. And so I can use them on this. So I kept thinking of all the pros of this. And the pros is I can use these stamps and it's not going to bleed through like crazy. So I'll be able to use those and I can rate it. And another thing is, Little Lou, I want to record when I wake and when I sleep every day. So I got those down here. And then this is another stamped March one from Atlas. So here's my meals. And then anything in here is just like an index of what happened during the day. In my Hobonichi cousin in 2024, tracking my meals was a really big deal for me because I was dealing with some health stuff and it really is annoying, but it actually helped me out. And I really missed having that. I didn't have a place I felt in the paper test to do that. And in the small take a note, there really wasn't a place for that. So I knew that no matter what, tracking meals had to happen. And then the interesting thing is, as I started putting these things in, one of the things that I was most looking forward to having vertical weeklies again is using my washi tape. I have so much fun, cool, crazy washi tape. Like I have ones with possums that are screaming, you know, and I used to put them at the top and the bottom and I was so excited to use that. But once I started setting this up and making it functional for myself, I kind of realized that there isn't a spot for that on here. So I think what I'm going to do is anytime I don't have an appointment, I'll put washi tape or stickers. And anytime I don't have a to-do or something to do that day, I'll do washi tape or stickers. And then maybe I'll put some washi tape right here in the middle, like a band. I think that's going to be kind of weird, but I wanted my awake and sleep here and my meals here. In my cousin, I had my meals at the top always, but I wanted the first focus to be timed events. So hopefully all of that makes sense. I will be doing a setup video, which is partly why this isn't filled out yet, and also because I haven't, let me tell you the drama of trying to get these things to print right when this is a weird size grid. Oh my God. But for instance, it'll look like this once I get it printed. So it's kind of cool. I'm not doing a ton of them. So here is everything that I'm going to use for the weekly spreads. I got this little bitty box from Michael's because it was an impulse buy at checkout. So I'm keeping those on my desk. It's easy to find. But I didn't go ham on printing a whole bunch of these because I didn't know how much I'd love them or not, or if I'd just be fine writing it out. Okay, yeah, so that is the weekly view. Up next we have the daily view. Honestly, not too much to see here because it's all blank pages at the moment. I do want to show you, okay, I picked these dated stickers up from the Stylish Minimal Co. as well. And this is what I'll be using. So this has got a bad word. I think I've already flashed it once, but I'll try to cover it. Wham! There we go. I don't know what, I originally wanted to use this cat as for the daily marker, but now I think I just like him because he looked like he'd be creeping. And these, it starts with 1 in January. So I had to go back and use these older ones that I've been using all of 2025. And I had to go back to an old August one that I didn't use them on so that I could get the last couple days. So the last couple ones of the year will look like this. And then I love what I did with this. So this is the Tommy A5 dashboard from Hobonichi. And I got it when I didn't know that I was going to be doing ring binders. And I fell in love with it. It's so great. And I'm definitely going to need one in here because part of me is super excited to be able to just pop these pages out and write on them without having any humps. But also if I want to write on it in here, I need a firm backing to it. And I didn't want to have to keep opening and closing the rings if I didn't need to. So check this out. I just hole punched it and then cut it a little bit. And so now every day I can just move it. I did buy a spare in case I mess this one up though. So, all right. So then I just have enough blanks for the first quarter basically. So that's, January's, and then here is February's blanks, and then here is March's blanks, and then we go into kind of a note area / extra page area. So this one, I am back to the Marmon paper, and this one is going to be for my song of the year, which it's currently as a recording. It's not New Year's yet, so what I like to do on New Year's Eve is I like to put my Apple Music on shuffle of everything. And when it strikes midnight, I keep track of what song was playing. And so, for instance, last year, it was Stray Kids Complex. And so I did the spread like this. So that's what I will do right here. Just keep a spot for it. This is the time to declutter. I really liked this idea, but it was hidden in the beginning of this book, and I never really went back to it again. This is what it looked like in my current book. I kind of tried to mimic it a little bit with color and everything. I feel like if I keep up with the rings, this is going to move over and over, and I'm not sure I'm going to want to redo it, so I don't know exactly why I put a dot for every quarter. But regardless, it's here, and if the amazing thing about the rings is if I hate it, I can just take it out and redo it. And no harm, no foul. Yes! So excited. Okay, this one right here is what I was calling garden answers. This is in my paper test designs right here. I totally got all the sizing wrong when I did this, so this might be one of those ones I end up redoing, but for now we're okay. And this is just so that I know when I need to prune certain things that are in my yard, and then the months for the season, and then when hurricane season is, because if you didn't know, I am in Florida, and that is a thing, except for this past year, which we didn't have one. Okay, and then we get to my wish list. So wish list is not something I had in this book because I have adult money and the impulse control of a 3-year-old, which is why I need to go into a low buy. So I made a little wish list page right here, and as I come across things that are not like a limited edition situation, I will write them in here and I will check it periodically to see if I still want it or not. And then the last thing right here is my paper co. It's just a lifter right here. I am thinking about some more pages. I was watching a couple videos earlier today while I was eating breakfast, and I might make some more pages, and if I do, I'll share them with you in another video. I'm not sure just yet, and then I'll be sure to give credit to the person that I got the inspiration from. And then this, I shared this on Instagram. It cracked me up. I had a different charm on it on the time, but I love this little Lou charm, and it was kind of hanging out over here on this thing, and you can't really put charms there, and I was getting overloaded with all the charms here, which I know it's excessive, I get it, but so what I did is I had just finished a thing of bagels, and so this is a bread tag, and I just hole punched it and put it in there. And my only regret is that it doesn't say January 1st, it says January 3rd, but it fits there, and there you go, it's perfect. And then when you close it, he just peeks out the bottom. I love it. And I did think that all this crap was going to be a lot to manage, but honestly, as soon as all I got to do is start to close it. Then when I do this, it just all tucks in and it's perfect. It is no chaos, no problem. I love it. I am so excited. Okay, that is all of the stuff. There is one Midori thin calendar kind of thing that I keep in my purse for on the go. So it's just how I'm using it is exactly how pictures online use it. So I didn't think that was worth sharing. But that is one more thing. Okay, so I was going to record an outro video the same way I did the intro video, but I moved my phone. And that was such a pain to line up and try to deal with by myself that you guys are just stuck with hands. And that's okay. You guys have been stuck with hands all year, right? So if you've made it this far, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. The channel doesn't seem to be doing as well as it once was, and I think that's lands firmly on me because I had so much stuff going on at the end of this year that it just made posting videos in a regular fashion pretty darn difficult for me. And then in addition to that, I had started that D-Stash series and then immediately got overwhelmed with how to handle it, and then almost got paralyzed with feeling like I couldn't post anything until I did the second video. And that really affected me. That feels so stupid to say. But yeah, long story short, I will finish the D-Stash stuff at some point in time. I am done, and I have a huge stack of things in the corner of my room. I need to go through them so that I can list them and everything and maybe make a video. Yeah, you know what? It's not a whiskers and washi video if the last part of it isn't just weird and rambly. Anyway, if you made it this far, thanks so much. If you like this video, please like. And if you really liked it, please consider subscribing. Thanks. Bye.